The clerk will unlock the machine and take the roll. Members will record their presence by pressing the green button. Has every member recorded their presence? Has every member recorded their presence? Clerk, lock the machine. We have 70 representatives present. There is a quorum. All rise for the invocation to be delivered by Representative Barros, who will also lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Representative Barros.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Dear Lord, Black History Month began in 1926 by Carter Woodson, a Harvard-trained historian. He wanted to pay tribute to the accomplishment of African Americans who had struggled through great adversity to achieve full recognition in the American society. Help us to live up to his belief that truth cannot be denied and that reason will prevail over prejudice. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there objection to the approval of the journal of the previous day? Hearing none, so ordered. There is no communication. Any new business? New business. Representative Chippendale, Representative Nottolillo with new business, Representative Price with new business, Representative Giarrusso with new business, Lita Newberry with new business, Representative Filippi with new business, Representative Lancia with new business, Representative Barros with new business, Representative Solomon with new business, Whip Edwards with new business, Representative Johnson with new business, Representative Blazejewski with new business, Representative Constantino with new business, Representative Agello with new business, Chairman Malik with new business, Representative Bennett with new business, Lita DeSimone with new business, Representative Canario with new business, Representative Amori with new business, Representative Fogarty with new business, Representative O'Grady with new business, Representative Ackerman with new business, Representative Marcello with new business, Representative Marcello with new business. Any other new business out there? Chairman Shekarchi with new business. Any other new business out there? The next order of business is the calendar. Clerk, please read the first item on today's calendar.
Item number 1, number 7306.
Chairman Handy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Excuse me, Mr. Speaker. Just a little under the weather at the moment today. 7306 by Representative Carson is just a bill to extend the reporting deadline for her study commission, which has been doing a lot of great work looking at the impact of sea level rise on businesses. They just need a little bit more time, and so the committee saw fit to pass that unanimously. I move passage, Mr. Speaker.
Chairman Handy moves passage. That is seconded by Representative Carson, Deputy Speaker Lima, Representative Regenberg, Representative Ackerman, Representative Fogarty, Representative Ruggiero, and Representative Maldonado, as well as Representative Tanzi and Representative Tabone. Representative Norton and Representative McEntee. Representative Regenberg.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to rise to in support of this extension and to give a shout out to Representative Carson for the hard work and dedication that has gone into leading the study commission. I've had the privilege of attending several of the commission's meetings and found them incredibly informative opportunities to hear from a wide array of perspectives and stakeholders on this issue. And I think that's really important because too often when we hear terms like sea level rise and climate change, people's eyes glaze over and they say that's just a tree hugger issue. The image of the lonely polar bear floating away on the last piece of sea ice, right? But I think it's important for those of us in this room to understand when it comes to climate change, this is a human problem. This is our problem. These are our neighbors who are being forced to pay higher costs for flood insurance. These are our businesses. These are our businesses having to pay more from damage from more frequent flooding. This is our economy getting shut down from freak storms like Hurricane Sandy that are happening more and more often. In fact, an expert who testified at one of the commission meetings stated that 100-year floods in the coming decades, we may be seeing those every 3 years. So how does that impact our municipalities? How does that impact our tourism sector, our hospitality sector? When we think of climate change and sea level rise, we should not be thinking of the polar bear. We should be thinking about our constituents and the next generation of Rhode Islanders and the state that they inherit. So let's take a cue from the United States military, from the majority of America's business leaders. Let's take this issue seriously, and I commend Representative Carson for taking the lead in gathering the information, the hard data that we need to inform our decision-making on this going forward.
There are no other lights. Clerk, unlock the machine. All those in favor, please vote green. Those opposed, red. Has every representative in their seat voted? Representative Tansey? Clerk, lock the machine. 70 in favor, 0 opposed. The resolution prevails. Next item, Clerk.
Item number 2, Senate 2157.
Chairman Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This bill comes to us from Senator Kettle. It's an act to vacate the forfeiture or revocation of the charter of Michelli Construction and Roofing, Inc. I move passage.
Chairman Kennedy moves passage. That is seconded by Representative Chippendale, Representative Johnston. There are no lights. Clerk, unlock the machine. All in favor, please vote green. Those opposed, red. Has every representative voted? Representative McCannon? Clerk, lock the machine. 68 in favor, 0 opposed. The act prevails. I believe that concludes the calendar. Representative Marcella with new business. Any other new business? Representative Filippi with new business. Representative Williams with new business. Representative Blazczewski with new business. Representative Phillips with new business. Chairman McNamara with new business. Representative Tansey with new business. Representative Fogarty with new business. Representative Morgan with new business. Chairman Shikachi with new business. Chairman Azanaro with new business. Representative Hearn with new business. Representative Diaz with new business. Whip Edwards with new business. Any other new business out there? Representative Ruggiero with new business. Any other new business? Announcements and introductions. Chairman Kennedy.
Announcement, Mr. Speaker, that the House Committee on Corporations will be meeting at the Rise in room 203.
Representative Lombardi.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to be recorded as vote in the affirmative on item number 2, please.
Representative Lombardi in the affirmative on item number 2, so ordered. Chairman Gallison.
Announcement, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed.
The House Committee on Finance will be meeting in room 35 at the Rise. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Giarrusso.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. A request for adjournment, please.
Proceed.
I'd like to adjourn in memory of Chief Justice Scalia, and I also have a resolution for immediate consideration with consent of the majority and minority leader for justice.
Send it up, please.
Thank you. Yes.
Representative Chippendale.
Thank you, Speaker. I rise on a point of personal privilege, please.
Proceed. What is your point of personal privilege first?
Thank you, Speaker. Yesterday in the Providence Journal, there was an article reported about a rally that evidently happened yesterday in the State House that I understand was quite raucous, and erroneously reported that I was in attendance of this rally. I did speak with the folks at the Journal, and the reporter who covered that story is not the typical political reporter. She told me that she just didn't recognize me. She didn't know who I was, and went off of a press release that had been put out by some organization in Boston. Of course, I hunted down that organization in Boston to try to find out how my name got on a press release for something I knew nothing about, from an organization I knew nothing of, and was essentially given an explanation of clerical error and or miscommunication from whom I do not know and could not ascertain. However, the Journal was very gracious in correcting the online version, and will, I believe, tomorrow be printing an adjustment to the story to indicate that not only did I have nothing to do with it, but I wasn't there, I didn't participate, and I didn't condone it. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Representative Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May I be recorded in the affirmative on number 2, please?
You may, so ordered.
Thank you.
Representative Lancia.
An announcement, please, Speaker.
Proceed.
I'd like to take a moment to introduce my new high school intern, Sebastian Vidal. He comes to us from Hope High School. He's part of the JROTC program there. I taught there a year ago. He also indicated to me that Representative O'Brien is his former math teacher, so he has a bit of a personal connection there as well. And I just want to welcome him this session to us at the State House. Thank you, sir.
Welcome to the State House, and thank you for assisting Representative Lancia. Representative Phillips.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Announcement and adjournment, please.
Proceed on both.
Thank you, sir. It's a joyous day and a sad day in our family's lives. It's my wife's birthday today, so I'd like to wish my wife a happy birthday. And the adjournment is on Saturday. We learned that her sister passed away in New York. Her sister, Linda Ottman, leaves a daughter, Cindy, and her husband, 2 grandchildren, 1 great-granddaughter, and as far as long as I can remember, she worked for the Attorney General's office in New York, in Albany, New York. So I'd humbly ask that we adjourn in her memory.
We certainly will, Representative. Thank you. Representative Giarrusso moves House Resolution expressing condolences on the passing of the Honorable Antonin Gregory Scalia. That is seconded by Leader DeSimone, myself, Representative Lancia, Representative Corvese, Leader Newberry, Representative Costa, Representative Ruggiero, Representative Palangio, Representative Lombardi, Representative Amori, Representative Tanzi, Representative Canario, Representative Filella, Chairman Azanaro, Deputy Speaker Lima, Representative Filippi, Representative Natalillo, Representative Cannavali, Representative Ucci, Representative Marcello, Representative Chippendale, Representative Price, Representative Roberts, Representative Morgan, Representative Costantino, and the entire House of Representatives. All in favor, aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Clerk, please read.
House Resolution expressing condolences on the passing of the Honorable Antonin Gregory Scalia. Whereas it is with deep sadness and regret this House of Representatives has learned of the passing of the Honorable Antonin Gregory Scalia, an extraordinary individual and jurist, a conservative icon who transformed the bench and the longest-serving justice on the United States Supreme Court. And whereas born in Trenton, New Jersey on March 11, 1936, Antonin Scalia was the only child of Salvatore Eugene Scalia and Catherine Louise Scalia. He was the beloved husband of over 55 years to Maureen McCarthy, a devout Catholic and the father of 9 children: Anne Forrest, Eugene, John Francis, Catherine Elizabeth, Mary Claire, Paul David, Matthew, Christopher James, and Margaret Jane. And whereas Justice Scalia attended the University of Fribourg, Switzerland, earned a joint degree with Georgetown University, AB, where he was valedictorian and graduated summa cum laude. He received his Bachelor of Laws from Harvard Law School and a Sheldon Fellowship from Harvard University. And whereas in 1961, Justice Scalia became an associate at Jones Day, Cockley, and Revis in Cleveland, Ohio, and was admitted to the Ohio Bar in 1962. From 1967 to 1974, he was a professor at the University of Virginia Law School and was admitted to the Virginia Bar in 1970. From 1971 to 72, he served as General Counsel, the Office of Telecommunications Policy, Executive Office of the President, and from 72 to 1974, he was Chairman of the Administrative Conference of the United States in Washington. In 1974, he became the Assistant United States Attorney General for the Office of Legal Counsel, and in 1977 he returned to academia as a visiting scholar at the American Enterprise Institute and subsequently served as a visiting professor at Georgetown Law Center, a law professor at the University of Chicago, and a visiting professor at Stanford Law School. And whereas nominated by President Ronald Reagan, Justice Scalia was sworn in as a member of the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit on August 17, 1982. And on September 26, 1986, he became the first Italian-American Supreme Court Associate Justice when he filled a seat left by William Rehnquist, who became Chief Justice. And whereas widely considered a conservative, Justice Scalia consistently voted in favor of free speech. He was a strong opponent of abortion and affirmative action and was a strong advocate of federalism and separation of powers. He believed that judges should follow the precise words of the Constitution and not apply a modern interpretation, and is perhaps best known for his landmark decision protecting the right of an individual to possess a firearm at home. And whereas Justice Scalia was widely admired and treasured by his fellow justices, he left an indelible mark on the court and our nation, and he will be profoundly missed. Now, therefore, be resolved, this House of Representatives of the State of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations hereby expresses our deepest sympathies on the passing of the Honorable Antonin Gregory Scalia. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be and hereby is authorized and directed to transmit a duly certified copy of this resolution to Maureen McCarthy Scalia and family.
Thank you, Clerk. Please leave that on the desk for signatures. Deputy Speaker Lima.
Adjournment, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed.
I ask that the House adjourn in memory, actually it's of a relative, Robert Vincent Kenyon. This was the man that we honored last year through a resolution because he was finally awarded his Medals of Honor from World War II. He was awarded 8 medals and presented 6 by Congressman Rooney in Punta Gorda, Florida. He is survived by his loving wife of 68 years, Lucy Rosano Kenyon, and his son, Robert Kenyon Jr., and his wife, Cynthia Valcamp of Chicago. He's also survived by his brothers, George Lee and Phyllis Kenyon, William Joseph and Muriel Kenyon, sister-in-law Anna Viola Rosano Misagliano, brother-in-law Nicholas and Betty Rosano, and he's preceded in death by his daughter, Carol Ann Kenyon, and he will be dearly missed by his family. Thank you.
We certainly will, Deputy Speaker. Thank you. That sounds like a life you can be proud of. Representative O'Brien.
Adjournment, Speaker.
Proceed.
Thank you. Well, I would like to adjourn in the name of Isabella Corselli, Isabella Corselli. She was a beautiful 21-year-old young lady who lost her battle with cancer. You can see how talented she was because she has a YouTube video where she was on Dancing with the Stars. She was a wonderful person, and everybody in the town loved her. She'll be deeply missed. Thank you, Speaker.
We certainly will, Representative. Representative Price.
Thank you, Speaker. I'd like to be recognized as in the affirmative for number 2, please.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Leader DeSimone moves House resolution extending congratulations. That is seconded by Leader Newberry. All in favor, aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Leader DeSimone moves House resolution extending condolences. Seconded by Leader Newberry. All in favor, aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Representative Barros.
Adjournment, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed.
On behalf of the entire Pawtucket delegation and the city of Pawtucket, I would like for us to adjourn in memory of a good man, Joseph the Pie Man Sadlier. Joe was a relative of our colleague, Rep. Duffy Messier, a friend of all those in need, a great advocate for the city of Pawtucket, and a great fundraiser for the many worthy charitable causes that he championed. He spent most of his adult life volunteering to help the less fortunate. Joe was a Korean War veteran, a Knight of Columbus member, and a devout Catholic. Joe was the recipient of many awards, including being named Face of Ireland in 1999. He was inducted into the City of Pawtucket Hall of Fame, and he was awarded the Daily Point of Light award from President then George Bush in 2001. He would be sorely missed, so I'd like for us to adjourn in his memory.
We absolutely will, Representative. Thank you. Representative Slater.
Announcement, Speaker.
Proceed.
On Sunday, we celebrated a very special birthday. Not only she is my seatmate, but she's my dear friend, so happy birthday to Representative Grace Diaz.
Happy birthday, Representative. Representative Corvesi.
Can we go back to new business, Mr. Speaker?
Representative Corvesi with new business. Chairman Keeble with new business. Representative Natalillo with new business. Any other new business? Representative McCannon with new business. Any other announcements or introductions? Leader DeSimone.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. An announcement and a request, please.
Proceed on both.
First, as we all know, the deadline for House public introduction was extended to today for bills that were brought to the Legislative Council office by February 12th. So, subsequent to today, if you want to introduce a bill, you will have to stand and provide notice of the intention to introduce a bill on the following legislative day pursuant to Rule 7D. Along those lines, Mr. Speaker, I would request that we leave the desk open only for the introduction of bills that were submitted to the Council office by February 12th.
So ordered, Leader. Thank you. Any other announcements or introductions? Is there any objection to transmitting all matters on the clerk's desk to Her Excellency the Governor, the Honorable Senate, or the Secretary of State forthwith? Hearing none, so ordered. Leader DeSimone moves that the House adjourn in memory of Isabella D. Corselli, Robert V. Kenyon Sr., the Honorable Justice Antonin Scalia, Linda Ottman, and Joseph Sadlier. Motion is seconded by Leader Newberry. All those in favor, please stand for a moment of silence. The House is adjourned.